Hello, everyone. Welcome to Short Rest for episode I forgot.
I forgot too.
We had a lost episode where, unfortunately, for some reason, the recording didn't take on your end. Like, it didn't record the Discord thing, though I was seeing the bars in OBS, so it was really, really weird. Also, I didn't do my hair, as you can tell.
It's blue.
It's blue. Hey, you know, the funny is, it's the light. It's actually white.
Yeah, and the other light, it looks silver.
Yeah.
He looks like old man.
Old man Logan.
You trying to impersonate Lily here? Lily Underwood?
A little bit, maybe.
Hair? How dare you?
So what happened on the Lost episode, and we'll recap that really quickly, is that you guys dealt with Garwin Kem, headed to the Barnwell family, had some dinner with them, met the new mercenaries, and found that Kat was a interloper, was actually Oliver. So that all happened, and now we continue with this episode. That should be fine. Could be produced. You guys fought him and his little minions, which were not very little.
He locked me in a cage. And
he did lock you in a cage.
All my rage.
I found it. There was a combo of spells that I was looking up because I was like, Force Cage is not a concentration spell, so it just happens. Ooh. And there was another spell, and I forgot the name of it. I wrote it down somewhere, but essentially it is a concentration spell, and it just keeps on happening.
That's the fire one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was like a 7th level spell, or 6th level, but it was essentially like immolation or something like that. I forgot what it's called.
Immolation.
It did a lot.
Well, not really.
No, not. Well, it would have done for a normal person. It wasn't.
Anyone else would have got barbecued.
Yeah. Anyone else
I take the minion.
would have been barbecued. Rolly here is just like, protect me, ancestors. And just 2 damage, 3 damage, 4 damage.
That's like, it's just a mild singe over and over and
Yeah.
over. It was more annoying than anything else.
Did it bring you down at least enough where it was like, I hate this?
Well, I mean, you could have brought me down 10 points, inflicting like 2 to 3 points of damage each time, and I would have said this is annoying. So it wasn't that hitting that threshold isn't hard. I think what you were trying to go for is this is annoying. Make it stop. It's doing something. A little bit. It brought me down like, I want to say like it brought me down like 40 HP, something like that.
I mean, I'll be quite honest. That's quite a feat over a few lengths of turns.
Because it was like 6 and 7 every single time, and then like, yeah, it was just constant over and over every turn.
So funny thing about that is, when I was building this encounter, I was trying to think of like things that Oliver would know and things he wouldn't know, and things he would have time to set up and would be obvious, and things he wouldn't be able to. So one of it was the sort of magical torches that would take away sunlight and radiant energy. That, unfortunately, he didn't have time to set that up, nor would that be viable. Because then it would be like Arad and these mercenaries being like, Kat, what are you doing? It's like, I'm doing nothing, I'm just casting a spell on this torch. It's like,
look at my new torch.
It's like, well, keep that away from the fields. What are you doing? Oh, okay. So it was one of those things where I'm like, that wouldn't work. And I don't think he's ever casted a fire spell on Rolly, so he doesn't know you are resistant to it. So I was like, well, this was a really cool combo on anyone else. So let's do it on Rolly, and without him knowing that, you know, Rolly is kind of resistant to it. So he was enjoying himself for a bit until he started crying for help, and he was like, shit.
He made it personal. That was his demise. All he had to do was lock me in that cage and leave, and I would have been mad, but I wouldn't have been like, you must die.
Yeah.
The moment he decided to try to bring down my home and kill anyone inside, now he made it personal.
So,
and, yeah, unforgivable.
I wrote it down that if all 3 scarecrows were in tandem trying to bring down the house, you had 3 turns. 3 rounds to get it, like, to kill them before they brought down the entire house. Everyone else inside the house would have taken a lot of bludgeoning damage, and since they're not class. They're not like level
They're
people.
people.
They're people.
They're not
They
Avengers.
have like 5 HP. They would have died. Especially your dad, who I consider enfeeble.
Yes, like 2 HP.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, a solid punch from a strong guy would knock your dad out.
No pressure.
No pressure. Then another timer was going off, and you guys quickly worked together on that, and that was Gina Lee. She was in a trapped version of the spell, rope trick, and if 3 counters went down, the portal would have shattered. Her body would have dropped, and she would have already been at 0 HP.
Yeah, once I went back there and I could not think of, okay, I do not know how to dispel this. That's why I was just like, we just need to get her out there. So I already kind of like, I'm going to sacrifice myself to the Griffin. Get Vera to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I have a question. So, someone from the outside, after this whole thing had gone down, someone from the outside could not go in. It was like sealed, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was my misunderstanding. I thought it wasn't sealed. I thought that the portal door was open, but it was breaking from within.
Well,
so like you could go in, say like, "Hey, get out," and then be okay.
From what Rolly would know is that should be possible. You did that with Gina. But the problem was that from behind the scenes, when Oliver revealed himself, he activated everything. It was like, okay, time to turn that switch on. Time to get my familiars and have them warp. And time to bring out my minions, because it's time for a fight. And he knew right away, after interacting with Gina Lee while you guys were away, in disguise as Cat, he was like, ooh, this Air Genasi's going to be a damn problem. How do I get her out of the picture? And that was his plan, was to like seal her in a cursed room. So that was his plan. He was like, I'm getting this spellcaster out, because she's dangerous. Like, after a few discussions of her just doing magic around him, he was like, I recognize talent when I see it.
So he thought she was talented, eh?
Oh, hell yeah. So that was happening. So yeah, Gina Lee would have fallen, and because the rope trick goes 20 feet, she would have taken bludgeoning damage. That would have been 1 death save immediate when she fell out.
Yeah, see, he made it personal. He went after my family, went after my friends, he went after my genie. That's one too many.
And
now it's personal.
And like any other Oliver, plan, it's complicated. It's always complicated. We need to discuss Rolly's break out of the prison and immediate explosion of hits. Was that 2 crits you did?
I think so.
Damn, man.
They made it personal.
Jesus
They
Christ.
made it personal. He had to learn.
102 points of damage. I also have to give props to like the amount of sneak attack Savannah seems to always get down. Like, it's always 30 to 40 points of damage in a single blow.
That's why I say that, like, sometimes it's like, I just need the numbers.
And last prop I have to give is to Vera, where you were on crowd control this round, this encounter.
Pretty much.
Yeah. You were pushing people back with the, was it not destroying dead, but unfortunately they were too high in CR.
Yeah.
But you were pushing them away, giving people breathing room, and then blinding people constantly, doing a sunburst and bringing Rolly down to 0.
Break out Gina Lee. She was all over the place.
You brought out Gina Lee. The fact that you brought her out, I mean, was a big save.
Why was
So what did she like? Did she go Super Saiyan when she came out? Like, it's like, that was cool. I've never seen that side of her.
So I wrote in that when I was building Gina Lee a long time ago, I was like, well, she's easily like a 17th level wizard. She's high. She has access to 9th level spells. She's been doing this for a while. She's a prodigy. When I was building her out, I was like, well, she's not really much of a fighter. She's got probably some defensive spells, but not a lot. A lot of, like, I'll even, like, in terms of her spell list, she has, like, Fabricate. And, Identify. And, Prismatic Wall. Like, just defensive things that she would have and ready counterspell. dispel magic, things people would need if they were dealing with the arcane business day after day.
Makes sense.
Yeah. But when I was writing her, I was like, she doesn't walk. This girl does not. Her feet never touch the ground.
She's an air genasi.
She's an air genasi. Not only that, she's a damn good spellcaster. She's never touching the ground. And I made it that she had a few magical items with her. One of them was, I was like, there's boots of like free movement. I'm like, she doesn't wear boots. She has sandals. So she was just using boots to climb over, rocky terrain and just flying, hair going wild, going, I am done. No one pulls a fast one on me. But yeah.
I think my question is, like, was Olivia just fucking watching us the whole entire time and was like, if you don't kill my brother, I'm gonna let you kill him. Like, I'm gonna make sure he doesn't come back because he's a pain in my ass.
So what I written down was that if Oliver was gonna win, like it was looking that he brought one of you guys down or was doing like a good job, she would have stayed out of it. She would be like, he was not supposed to do this, but I can't argue with the results, so I'm going to let him do it. But the fact that he was losing, that turned her tide. She was like, you're such a weak link, and I think we're going to be better without you. And that was what I wrote in, was like, she saw him as like, she's teacher's pet, essentially. She's like, not even my teacher liked you. The doctor didn't like you, the queen doesn't like you, you're gone. You're too brash. And so I wrote in that if you guys couldn't... I literally wrote, like, if he tried to get away, she was going to attempt to counterspell.
I would like to do a first for this entire series and give a useless shout out to Luther for being completely and utterly useless throughout this entire fight, missing most, if not all, of his attacks, and using abilities that I think are really cool against us.
Once.
I mean, once. He did, like, the first
Once
good
was
thing
all
out of
you
the
need
gate, but, yeah.
to take the best traits of Savannah and nullify them completely.
So, Luther I thought was cool when I was making him. He's essentially a fighter.
Your dice just didn't like him, dude.
I could take it from a bad roll, but character-wise, like, Savannah's pissed, and that plan she thought about, she's really reconsidering it right now.
Yeah, Luther had a bad time. He has I think a +6 to hit. So it's not crazy, but I was rolling like 5s and 2s constantly, and I was like, why am I rolling bad for Luther? This guy he does hit hard.
I mean, it adds to his story of why he's not a domain chosen.
Yes, it does.
Damn it.
It's all like, oh, no, you didn't like being a chosen, or you weren't good at it.
He chose not to be.
Well, I mean, technically, that's what Vera asked outright. I was like, don't you fail out? And he was just like...
Bam.
Yeah.
Well...
No.
Luther had a bad time.
Stick this headphone in my mouth.
Yeah, and then poor
Robin.
Robin, there you go. Yeah. Oh, poor Robin. We need to fix that because I felt bad about that.
Oh, I mean, once Oliver's dead, the magic that was holding upon her body would have given. She would have reverted back to her early 30s.
I was gonna say I could create a restoration here or remove curse. That's about all I could do, but maybe that would have.
Yeah, it was a life drain attack which doesn't age you, but I was like, no, these guys age you. So I was like, yeah, this is what happens.
It's like not only did you get hit, you got hit below the belt, and now you're old. It sucks.
Yeah. But yeah, these. So if you want to talk about the mercenaries, I built them in these strange ways. I'm like, they have these unique abilities. Like Robin has obviously her Captain America shield, which doesn't do a lot of damage, but thematically it's pretty damn cool. To throw a shield and get it returned, and then because when it comes to a Morningstar, I believe it's a two-handed weapon, so easy enough. Throw the shield, get the Morningstar, attack, get the shield back.
But I mean, at the end of the day, despite all the wounds and curses and things she took, she still managed to dole out something.
Yeah.
I can't say that about Luther.
Luther,
I
on the
mean,
other hand,
his ability was very interesting, and it definitely helped out Savannah. I feel like Savannah wasn't taking advantage of it enough, because it's like, oh, you have up to 40 movement speed. I'm gonna move 30.
Well, no, because the only reason I did
40.
well, no.
and go where?
The funny thing is,
Doesn't matter,
it's not.
It's probably calculated.
It doesn't replace your speed by 40. It gives you an additional 40. So you had 70 feet of movement.
I was like,
But
just
go
use
where?
it.
But
My whole thing is like I could use it, but then where am I going?
yeah, no, you have a complete. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Where would
she
you go?
only had to get Gina Lee, and Gina Lee was like maybe at best 40 feet out the house.
Yeah.
I didn't realize I could just go through the house. Once I realized that, I'm like, okay, I didn't need that. And then as far as like the second time I got it, which only reason now I wished I used it is because of what happened. I didn't want to get next to Oliver, so I'm all like, I'm gonna run out here, figure this out, and then move. Yeah, that's where I messed up.
The funny
And
thing.
then he was like, surprise.
So, do you remember when I got Oliver out of the brush, and I was like, I'm gonna make a roll, and I was like, something happens, and he goes back into the brush. That was him doing the charm effect, and essentially he was like, I'm gonna wait until I'm gonna activate this charm. So essentially, it was like the moment Savannah has her back turned, he's gonna rush in and do a 2-strike second attack, and then do a bonus action steal momentum. It's funny, he was rolling really well for the baddies though. I think he actually landed 2 attacks for Oliver. He can do damage. He just wasn't doing it on his own volition.
Yeah,
Really
doing
cool
damage
sword
to us.
that now feels more like a prop than anything else.
Yeah, right. Golden
I
sword.
feel like Vera's gonna call her dad and be like, "This guy, this is your main guy." Like I knew better than it.
That was his main guy for the domain. Essentially, he was using your father, Cyrus, was using Luther whenever it came down to like people who wanted to run off with like merchandise. All Luther had to do was just touch him or touch
Which
whoever,
makes sense.
and then
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
that's
that actually
perfect.
makes valid sense, but
Yeah, that's perfect. But I mean, I'm gonna just attribute this entire encounter for Luther to the fact that he was ill-equipped to deal with this undead vampire like mastermind.
yeah.
As,
So
as our
I'll cut him
most.
some slack. Yeah, I'll
As
cut
our
him
most.
some slack.
Well, no, he deserves all the hate. It's fine. Let's see. So you guys are going to be heading into, and we're going to try to wrap this up now, but you guys are heading into a 3-month downtime period. You guys have given me some ideas off screen, and I'm building it out. So I'll let you guys know right away. For your solo adventures, I am building one out of the 3 that you've given me is going to be a full-on experience. The other 2 are going to be kind of improv. And for the group adventures that you guys have voted on, I'm going to build out little experiences for that. And during that, and then if you have any other ideas like, oh, wait, can we do something like this? Totally free. As I mentioned, there's like free events that you guys can do. So if there's anything that comes to mind, feel free to jump in. But yeah, 3 months. That's a long time for you guys to finally relax.
All I gotta say, it's always either you or Rolly, aka Steve, that makes me cry. Sucks.
Why?
What I do?
What do we do?
Always.
you made Vera a friendly fire someone.
Oh.
that
It's
had-
okay. I had that in my back pocket. I just didn't want to say it. I was just do
See,
it.
that's more messed
Yeah,
up.
but she didn't know that. She
I
didn't
know. That's
know
what
that.
I'm saying. Just do it.
Because I think, like, I don't know, Vera has, we all have PTSD in some shape, way, or form. All our characters do. But, like, we're at your house. She full on promised your dad, like, if anything happens, I got it. And she's the one that's gonna, like, blast you to Kingdom Come in front of your
And then
house.
she started
In front of your dying dad. And she's just like, I, like, don't know what to think about this, but I'm
Just
doing it.
do it.
Yeah, I think it's an
What are
ability.
you waiting for?
It's an ability you haven't used in front of anyone. So
No.
that's pretty awesome that it came to play right now. We were like,
And I don't think it would have been appropriate for me to tell you while we're fighting, like while I'm literally facing all of
dude, I'll get back
Hey
up.
Vera, go ahead and just blast me. Don't worry, if I die, I'll come back.
Yeah.
No worries. There's no risk to you whatsoever. I'm gonna be totally fine. Just do it.
Honestly, if it was Rolly would have said, if I died, I died.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yes, I would have said that, which I didn't. My biggest concern using that going in though is, you said was it 12d6? So okay.
I got a lot of
For
sixes too.
Yeah, for the spell for that to actually have killed me, it would have had to have dealt like over 150 damage.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So to be fair, I knew I wasn't gonna die. But if there's a situation where that does happen, it's like, oh, well, if I die, I die. I didn't think this one was gonna happen like that, so I was like, just do it.
Do you have any final thoughts on Olivia?
Other than what I said already.
She's like more scarier. That's concerning.
Yeah, it is kind of scary that she was willing to sacrifice her brother. Makes sense. Thematically, it makes sense, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, that means she really is probably really unhinged.
I wouldn't say that. I would say that she's definitely okay. Basically, with Oliver, we just got a taste of it, and a very bad taste, because this guy is, well, he's very intelligent. He's very like, like he schemes a lot. He's also reckless. My thoughts going into Olivia are it's gonna be the same minus the recklessness, and that's concerning.
Yeah.
Because that means she's gonna be covered.
She's precise.
But something she said, it was like they're supposed to wait until Evergrey says like she was ready. I don't think she's gonna pop out anytime soon unless it's for something.
Yeah, so we need to go hunt her down.
She'll pop out at the end of that 3 months, so it's no problem.
Surprise!
There was a final thought that I want to leave you guys as we end the short rest is you guys fought Oliver, found how much damage he does, what abilities he has, and how he schemes, and just sort of how powerful an individual he was. The scary thought that I want to leave you guys with is if someone saw this strong person and was like, you're just not up to snuff, and just lets them die, then how powerful are they?
Yeah. I feel like she's easily probably double and twice as smart.
Yeah.
Definitely on that.
Definitely agree. More powerful, smarter, but I wouldn't necessarily say like, oh, this guy was like superiorly like just terrible and weak. No, I think he was powerful in his own right. He has a flaw.
He has an
And
ego.
that flaw is his downside, and she recognizes that flaw and realizes it's not helping their cause, so she decides to not necessarily kill him, but indirectly kill him.
Yeah. There's technically no blood on her hand.
Nope.
Because everything she's done has been underhanded.
Yeah.
Just all she did was cast a spell that didn't hurt anybody.
She's a smart bitch.
I mean, she was the one.
And it also sends off an actual assassin that no one can trace back to her.
All right. Well, I think that's what we're going to call our short rest. You guys now get to rest up. In game, you guys would have a long rest, so by the time we come back, you guys have your long rest. Hey there, buddy.
The bite. Has the bite been resolved?
The bite? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's what I asked.
there is a secondary thing that a vampire has to do. Like, essentially, a vampire has to willingly try to make a vampiric spawn. He didn't want. He wanted to go for the kill.
Oh, no. I meant as in the loss of maximum HP. That.
Oh, that takes a long rest to reduce.
There you
Go.
Cool.
Robin needs it. Jesus.
Poor girl.
At the she had 76 points of health, and after 32 brought her down, then 17 brought her down. She would be walking around with over half her health down. She would have been a very weak paladin. All right. Well, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.